I booktube, so I unintentionally, I guess, have a book haul. I didn't mean to collect so many books since I last did a book haul, but because I meant to like film like maybe end of May, like a spring book haul. But no, this is April, and I've gotten quite a few books. Some of them are from Powell's, some of them from a library book sale, and quite a bit are from the free little libraries that you see sprinkled around like the neighborhoods. And so if I pass one of those, I have to stop and check out what they have. And so I've done lots of walks with Fable, my new dog, and just like exploring and having fun with her. And so we have gone on quite the adventure. And so yes, so quite a bit from there as well. So I haven't paid too much money for these, but yeah, it's still quite a lot of books. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but and it's quite a collection as well. The first one is Gladys Tabor, My Own Cape Cod, and I like reading nature books and memoirs of that, and so like the back is like Autumn on Cape Cod. Summer slides so gently into autumn on Cape Cod that it is easy to believe that there will be no end. Daydreams toward twilight, skies are sapphire, the tide ebbs quietly. I begin to think. Time itself is arrested, and the green leaves will stay forever on the trees. Gardens glow with color, with late roses and with carpets of zinnias and asters. So yeah, this is, I don't know, just a little random snippet here. And there's also some pictures as well, scattered throughout. I can show you some more, maybe. And the pictures are kind of sticking together. It's nice, like sturdy, thick pages. So yeah, anyway, there's that one. And then I have some books by Larry McMurtry. This is Some Can Whistle. And then I also have Anything for Billy. And typically, over the summer, I read at least one Larry McMurtry for the last, like, I don't know, 4 years or so. And so, unfortunately, Larry McMurtry recently died. And so that for sure put him on my mind when I went to, I got these from the library book sale. And so I wanted to pick some of these up. I've never heard of either one of these, but this one I had picked up originally, and then I saw in the little cover it mentioned Anything for Billy. So I was okay, this one's sitting right beside it, so perfect. I'm gonna pick up both, and they're pretty slim compared to some of his other books, especially like Lonesome Dove or what was that, Move On or something, Move Along. A really big book, that one as well. So anyway, maybe I can read both of these over the summer instead of just one Larry McMurtry, because he has written quite a few books, and so I have lots of books to read every summer. This one is Where the Trail Ends by Melanie Dobson, and I saw this one as like an Oregon Trail book, and I really like those kind of like historical fiction adventure tales, and so a lot of like historical fiction that not a lot of, what do I want to say? I've read quite a few Oregon Trail historical fiction books, and so this one I just grabbed my eye. I really like the picture, and so yeah, and I'm here in Oregon now, so yeah, I wanted to read more about that. And then I have a Newbery winner. This is, yes, this is the gold. The silver is the honor, I believe. So you would think I would know this since I'm reading the Newbery books, but a lot of them I've read, at least so far, because they're so old, are the Kindle editions, and so I haven't really paid attention, so that's going to be my excuse. But yeah, the gold ones are the winners. And so this is When You Reach Me by Rebecca Stead. I know nothing about it. It looks like a pretty new book, so it's going to be probably a year, if not more, before I get to it. This is in 2009, so yeah, we'll see. And then from another free library book, this is Susan Wiggs' Summer by the Sea. And the cover I really liked. I've read a couple of Susan Wiggs, and some of them have been really good, and some of them have kind of a bit of a miss for me. So we'll see what I think of this one. It's pretty big, so like, and I've seen other people. I'm thinking of Chloe, on her Always Booked. Is that her channel name? Talk about how like some of her books are can be extra long and drawn out, and so she likes like a romance book or a women's like to be a bit shorter. And so yeah, I think this is like, I don't know, like 500, yeah, over 400 pages. And so yeah, I agree that they should be around like 300, 350. But yeah, so this author, they could get hit or miss, so who knows? But yeah, for sure, gonna read this on the beach or the lake, or who knows. Anyway, Death in Venice by Thomas Mann and 7 Other Stories. I've never read anything by him, and I saw this in the free library. And so yeah, picked it up. And this, instead of like, I'm often with like classics, I will read them on like the, because I have the Kindle, and so a lot of those classics are like just free, and so I'll read them that way. But this, having it on my shelf will give me the extra prompt to read it instead of like me randomly like, oh, let me see if this is on like the Kindle free classic thing. And so yeah. And then this is the the Aristia osculus. And I've read at least one of these before, but on audio. And so this is like, like a Penguin classic, and reading it in physical format would be good for me. And so yeah, because like I recently talked about, I've noticed that for audiobooks compared to physical or ebooks, I for sure am more of a like visual learner than an auditory learner. So it sticks with me more. And so anyway, like I said, I read one of these on audio, but I can't remember which one of these three. Agamemnon, this is torn right here. The Libation Bearers and the Eumenids. I think I read Agamemnon since it's the first one. Then I have a big book right here, Lee's Lieutenants, A Study in Command by Douglas Southall Freeman. This is a one-volume abridgment by Stephen W. Sears, and I've owned this book before, and I've also owned books 1 and 3 of the original collection, not the abridgment. Like, there was 3 books like this size, and I gave them all away, and I haven't read a single one of them. And then I was watching Steve Donahue, and he was talking about, because he has the individual, not the abridgment. And he was talking about how he, I think it was like, he was doing like a tag or something. He was talking about how like one book that, it was like one of the questions, like, I think like stay up late reading or something, like compelled to read. And so he talked about this book. I was like, okay, let me see. Because I own these books. I never give them any second thought, I guess, after I purchased them. I don't know. So like, I saw this at a store. And so like, I had to get it and, give it a second chance. Because after reading Battle Cry of Freedom over March of the Mammoth and into April, I want to read more Civil War books, and so that one for sure will fit the bill. Then I have another Civil War. This isn't Civil War. This is like another history book. The Bold and Magnificent Dream: America's Founding Years, 1492 to 1815. And this is by Bruce Catton and William B. Catton. And I've read quite a few books by Bruce Catton. Also, a lot of his books are on my TBR. And so I've never read anything by him that wasn't a Civil War book. And so I was intrigued because I really like his writing style. And so, yes, I normally don't pick up like huge, from the beginning of history to beginning of America time to now kind of thing. But yes, I feel like Bruce Catton can do no wrong. And so, yeah, we'll see what that one's like. Then I have a couple more free library books. This is The House in the Snow by M.J. Ing. And I don't know, I saw the little apple, and this just reminded me as a kid reading these kind of books, and so I know nothing about it, but this will be a good like wintry read. And then another one, just by the look of it, this is Janet Ham Needs a Date for the Dance by Eve Bunting, and this like 80s style, like a hardcover too. But yeah, I just couldn't resist. And then a couple more of the free library books. Halfway to the Sky by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. And it seems to be like she's running away from home, and she's hiking the Appalachian Trail. So like maybe a little girl by herself, not a little girl, but I don't know. She's like 12 by herself hiking. I'm sure she's gonna encounter quite the adventures there. Hopefully no bears or anything, but yeah. And then I have the Substitute Bride by Linda S. Glaze, and like a historical fiction romance. And then I have The Sweetheart of Starlight by Lynette Sell, and these are Heart Song Presents. So this, I'm not, who's the publisher for this? Because they remind me of like the Harlequin, but I don't think that's what it is. Barber Publishing. So yeah, all these I just saw at the free library, so I was like, yeah, let me give these a go. Let's see what they're like. And then I have yet another free library book. This is Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders. I've tried to read this twice. I listened to it first on audio, and it had like a cast of like, I don't know, 10, 20 people, and I just could not follow it. And so, okay, let me give the physical read a try. And I tried it that way, and I think I got like a third way through, and it just was not clicking for me. But I've heard fantastic things about this book. And I love George Saunders' short story collections. Every single one that I've read, I've really liked. I think I've read at least 3 of his short story collections. So I need to give this another try. My goodness. And so I found it. I was like, okay, this is my third attempt. And it's either I'm either gonna strike out or I'm gonna love it. So we'll see. And then I have some more books here. They all come falling down. I have Beverly Cleary's Ramona Forever. This is the next book that I wanted to read in the Ramona Quimby series. And it's the same thing with Lyra McMurtry. She was on my mind, not only because I've been reading her books, but because she recently died as well. And so, yeah, this cover is just too cute. And I love these books. And then I have another Newbery book for my collection. This is Banner in the Sky by James Ramsey Ullman. And I've read this one. I remember vividly reading it in middle school in 6th grade. It was one of the ones where the whole class was reading it. Like the teacher would read it and we were following along, and then we had to take it home and read like the next chapter or something. And so yes, I vividly remember this cover. But I can't exactly remember my thoughts about it. So you know, one of those classroom books where, you know, it's like your mandatory reading, and so I feel like it's really hard to love those books. But yeah, we'll see when I get to that one. And then I have Getting Near to Baby by Audrey Columbus. And this is another Newbery honor book. And I talk about this like this book. This is the same year I read this one, and this one stuck with me because it was one where you had to read a book and do a report on it. And so I remember being so depressed reading this book, like because of what happens. These 2 sisters have a 3rd sister that dies, and so they had this like guilt. They're really like the whole book. Like I think it's like the mother is depressed and feels guilty about the situation of how it happened, and then the sisters do as well, if I remember correctly. So yeah, there's that one, and then I have I think the last book for my Newbery project, The Singing Tree by Kate Sarity. And this is one that I haven't read in its past. Right now I'm in the 1940s, and this one I think is in 1939 or something. But I couldn't find this on ebook through my library or on Hoopla. And so those have been my avenues of getting them. I haven't been purchasing them if I can't find them. There's so many of them, and if they're older, I don't know, it's really hard to find them out of print and so on. But I saw this at a free library. Okay, this is I think 1939, so I'm gonna go back and read this one, since I couldn't read it when I was in that year. Then I have The Golden Age of the American Essay, 1945 through 1970 by Philip Lopate, and this is one I saw at Powell's, and I've been really in the mood to read short stories, and so this one just caught my eye. It's very like 4th of July-esque, and so yeah, when I get to that one. Then I have Wallace Stegner collected stories, and he is one of my favorite authors. I've liked every book that I've read by him, and so I haven't read any of his short stories, and so kind of like in the same vein of this. I want to get to those. And then I have another Wallace Stegner book. This is The Letters of Wallace Stegner. And then I have the Virginia Woolf Reader, an anthology of her best short stories, essays, fictions, and nonfiction. And I saw this when I was looking at the Wallace Stegner books, and so I read a few of Virginia Woolf's books, but not nearly enough. And I know she's like also along with her books, she's known for her letters and journals and like literary criticism. And so yeah, when I get to this one. And then I have, to wrap it up, I have the last few books from another free library. This is Home Sweet Murder by James Patterson. This is a really short book, and I used to read a ton of James Patterson, like, I don't know, like 10, 15 years ago. I read like a ton of his books, and I haven't picked up many. I've sprinkled them here and there throughout the years, but I don't know, you can pick it up and you just like fly through it. And he tends to write really short chapters, and so this would be a really nice book to read like after one of these or something like that, just like to palate cleanse in between books. And you can read them like in an afternoon. And then I have The Last Anniversary by Leanne Moriarty. And I've read 1 or 2 of her books, but I haven't read this one. The cover I really liked, so we'll see what I think of that. And then the last one is Salem Falls by Jodi Picoult. And the same thing with her. I've read quite a few of Jodi Picoult's book, and I tend to like them. And so I haven't read this one, and so yeah, go ahead and pick this one up. And this one's like, I don't know, it's giving me like fall or like summer vibes with like the bonfire and like the, I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna go camping here, like walking through the woods. So anyway, those are. Oh, actually, I have one here. So I was sitting right on the bed. One last one. This is Letters from the Country by Carol Bly. And it's got like a somber cover. It's a great book, but it's really short. And it says it's a provocative and loving look at America's moral landscape from the perspective of a small town. And this is 25 years when Carol Bly lived in Madison, Minnesota. Population 2,242. And so it's one of those like small town books and like what their opinions are. And I wonder, did she move from a city and like has like different perspective from a small town? But yeah, we'll see. So those were all the books I read. I'm not read. Oh my gosh, no, these are all the books I purchased or got picked up along my way over this last month. Oh my goodness, I feel like I got like 30 books here, like one for each day. Anyway, wish me luck on reading them, and let me know if you have read any of these books. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks, BookTube.